So a few weeks ago, I saw these tents, right, at Jarvis and College. There were a lot of them. I was like, what the hell is happening here? Right? I used to feel extremely safe, and then these tents, no, it's not just the tents, but over the years, like let's say the TTC, right? They stop like asking people to pay. Yes, they have these fare inspectors, which are BS. If you've been on the TTC, you know those fare inspectors. They do not show up, right, when there's people. They only show up when there's not people, right? I mean, when they're checking you for fares, it's basically when there's like nobody on the TTC, when it's like 10 a.m., when the rush hour is over, they're only checking for people when there's nobody there. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Why would you do that? Because I seen a lot of people, homeless people, live on the streetcar, right? And I seen some people post it on Reddit too, that there's like 6 or 7 people just taking over the back of the streetcar and just like basically kicked all of the riders off, right? And they smell and stuff like that. And where are these four fare inspectors? I don't know. But anyways, so this article was very interesting because when I was scrolling down, I know that CBC likes Olivia Chow. So I was thinking, hey, the first thing is you see Olivia Chow's face, the most promising candidate. But it put this guy. And then I scroll down a bit more, seen this person, scroll down a bit more. I don't even see Chow anywhere. And you think, hey, did she fall off their favors list or something? But no. It's just because this article is about making the candidates look bad. All right. This entire article, the strategy to this article, why am I putting this guy in front and then the second guy? Well, gotta look at what he's saying about the encampments. The encampments cannot be allowed to continue, must be removed while preserving the dignity of people, blah, 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 blah. So basically, this guy's very honest. Just for this, I might vote for him because I don't feel like making the next generation live in camps, right, is the solution. Are you freaking crazy? Because most of these problems and most of why they're in camps is because they done a very bad job at teaching them in school, right? They should have did a better job. And I know that because I've grown up through the public schooling system. And, you know, you can't be good. You're not taught to be hardworking. You're taught to support these things and become voters. You're not taught to be hardworking, productive people in society. You're taught to basically become a voter and we will help you. And at one point, I was kind of like that, right? I thought, hey, as long as I vote for them, they're going to give me a job. And it's funny because after you graduate, you realize, hey, they're not going to give you a good job. Nobody is going to give you a good job. And at the same time, right, they're bringing in immigrants. Not that I have anything against immigrants, but they're planning to bring in people that are stronger than you, faster than you, more intelligent than you, better trained than you to replace you while you vote for them, which makes zero sense to me. Because what the hell, right? I mean, I just don't feel like that actually helps the next generation. And my parents, actually, they weren't immigrants, they were refugees. So they're one bar down because, they didn't even have immigration status. They were a refugee from the war. And they were able to buy a house, but why are you teaching our generation, hey, don't work hard, don't worry about it, things will be solved? And I gotta be honest with you, no place wanted to give me well, they gave me a job. They wanted to give me a job, but they were teaching you how much you should be getting after graduation, and it didn't meet my expectation, which is what a lot of people are saying. So they rather not work, right? Because um you could always sit home and play games. You don't need to work. Why would you need to work? And a lot of my friends are like that, right? I mean, if not, you find out like, if your parents are poor, you find a wife to marry that has a parent that has money. If not money, at least have a house, right? Because the biggest expense is the house. So that's what a lot of my friends are doing. And, I don't have that intention, right? And essentially speaking, I wouldn't do that. I, I don't want to live off my wife, but a lot of my friends are doing that, right? They got to make sure, hey, your wife better have parents, and then their parents better leave you a house because then the problem is solved. So they're getting really intelligent with these things, and that's how they're teaching the generation. It's pretty kind of disgusting if you say it, but that's what's happening. And all right, going back to the article, gone off track. So, this person, right, talked about the encampments is not safe or secure, blah 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 blah. And this one is very funny because as counselor, he built 59 supportive units. First of all, he didn't build anything, right? Like it's not like he took the hammer and the saw and he built it. Okay, it's not like he paid for it. So he didn't build anything. And he's taking credit for doing something he didn't do. And, you know, just for that, I really do not feel that I'd actually be looking for him. I mean, the first guy sounds honest, right? This guy sounds kind of dishonest. Maybe he did something, he approved something, or he fought for something. But I don't think he did that much. I mean, sure, you could fight for something, but it didn't seem like it was a lot, right? And she's kind of, she is right that these places are not safe, and I don't know much about her. I don't want to think too much, but they're all like on the bar with things, right? Sounds like they want to say, hey, I can't say this too much because that's politically incorrect. And but at the same time, also want to say, hey, this is an issue, right? She's like in the middle. Well, this guy's just like, this thing isn't right, and that's what everybody is thinking in their mind, right? I mean, these encampments are not right. They're bad. They're not a good thing. Nobody is going to say this encampment is a good thing, right? That if they are lying. And this guy is saying it's not fair. Well, the problem is we're broke. The city economically, as a country as well, we're broke. Everybody's broke. We're on the verge of a financial collapse, probably. Look at the banks in the U.S., right? They're collapsing. And everybody is at the verge of being broke. So, how they want to do this is going to cost us, right? And any more increase in cost is going to make everybody else sleep on the street as well. And we go down here. They don't even want to show Chow and the others because this is an article all about making these three people look bad. And I feel it's very disgusting because, it's not like, hey, all these candidates, and I know that CBC likes to support Chow. Somehow her picture's not here. And the reason why she's not here is because this article is about branding this guy as an evil person for not supporting the encampments. And we go down a bit, there are some people talking about that is actually worse, right? Because we all had a chance of living on the streets, and I did, right? But I learned to suck up to my parents until I had the power to leave. And of course, a lot of people should learn how to put up with things and live with their parents, live with other people, get along with other people until they have the power, and at the same time work hard, right? But anyways, yeah, I mean, living on the streets is not a favor, right? Because now you're allowing them to continue down this road. It's kind of like, hey, you have cancer, right? It's like, don't worry, just take the pill, the painkiller pills, or we jab you with some stuff to remove the pain while your cancer grows. That doesn't make sense. Your job is to remove the cancer, and that's the exact same with the encampments. You can't allow them to continue and tell them, hey, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You could just continue with these encampments because then, right, they're, especially for females, they're going to have like sexual harassment. They might even get into physical harassments or other things. It's a very bad place. And, you know, you can't allow them to continue to live down these situations. And of course, all these three people, right, it talks about sometimes people fall into an experience, and it's our job as a city not to let them fail. But you've been training them to fail since school, and that's why they're in the encampments. Being in the encampments means they already failed. Now you want to let them fail even more and continue to fail, right? That's why they're like, we just can't scrap them out of our park. So what? You want them to live on the streets forever? That's the objective. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. How this article kind of brands people as bad, right? I feel like they're purposely doing that, and a lot of, they want to be politically correct, but if they really were there to kind of talk about the seriousness of this issue, they would actually post these people and their response, right, and their pictures, right, instead of these threes, and put the most politically incorrect person first, and the second one, and then the third one, and then the other ones, yeah, just leave them. Just not. Let's just not put them in there because this article is all about making these three look bad.